So today's the 23rd of May 2024. The sun's just coming up and big day today because we're finally leaving New Zealand. We're about to sail out of New Zealand for Fiji. It's a beautiful morning here in Opua and we've done a lot of prep and feel like we're ready to go. We've got an appointment at 8:30 AM with customs, so we'll go up to the customs office. Garth, who's coming with us, we'll all be together up there. We'll show our documents and then we'll check out the country. So it's a pretty big day and it's going to be exciting.
If you're new here, we're Adam and Vicky, a couple of Kiwis who traded land life for a life afloat. Since then, we've been sailing New Zealand's northern coastline, and the summer of 2023 and 24 we did a final lap of the Hauraki Gulf, enjoying time with our friends and taking Taiko on what would be her shakedown cruise. Over the last 3 years, Adam has worked very hard upgrading Taiko's various systems to prepare Taiko for what would be her first ever offshore passage.
We've spent a lot of time on this pier the last couple of years and made lots of friends here, so I think we're both quite sad to be leaving for sure, but you know, this is the lifestyle and we'll be back and there's a lot more that we can do, so we're doing it while we can. We've got a beautiful sunrise, nice calm conditions to be leaving. So I guess from my perspective I feel a lot of excitement about actually pulling this off. It sort of feels like it's been a project that's been so long that our lives have become getting ready, and now today is the day that changes, and that feels really weird. It's like I'm so used to being around the marina or working on the boat, and now we actually get to do a 1100 nautical mile passage to Fiji. I think mixed emotions, a little bit nervous and a little bit kind of feeling a little bit emotional, I guess, but you know, I know that we're right and we've got good crew, got the right boat, the weather window's superb, the low just blew through, just finished overnight, and it wasn't a deep low and there's no really high pressure systems around, so I'm expecting them to be quite nice conditions, and once we get to the variable belt, like just above latitude 30, I think we'll have some calm weather, so that should be interesting. Yeah, so overall I'm happy and feeling like it's time to go, and I think the right thing for us to do is to go now so that we can just get on. So thank you for supporting us.
Anyone who is about to or who has done an offshore passage before, I'm sure can appreciate how Adam is feeling. The passage we're about to embark on is no mean feat. Sailing to and from New Zealand is one of the passages many sailors worry about, mostly because of New Zealand's location to the roaring 40s. New Zealand's weather becomes dominated by the low pressure systems from the Tasman. These low pressure systems move higher and become more frequent, which means we have a shorter, suitable weather windows to leave. For this ocean passage, we'd be sailing 1200 nautical miles, leaving from Opua in the Bay of Islands, New Zealand, situated at latitude 35, to Savusavu, Fiji, situated at latitude 16. Along the way, we'd be crossing latitudes 30 and 20. Before we leave, all good trips should start with the leaving photo.
So we're on our way to Fiji now, just motoring past Russell in the distance, and it's beautiful and glassy. A few little ripples on the water. We've got the mainsail up and we've just changed around the reefing line so that we've got got access to the second reef, which is good. Vicky's back there with Garth in the cockpit, and Opua's just disappearing in the distance. It's been really good having Garth aboard. He's just such an awesome guy and has a great influence over us, and we've learnt a lot from him. We've both got huge respect for him, so yeah, we feel very lucky to have that man aboard, and now we just have to get out, find a bit of wind and get sailing. Beautiful, we've got 10 knots of wind or so, and we're just on a lazy beam reach heading up to the 9 pin. We're on course for our first waypoint, which is on latitude 30. I just placed a waypoint in the middle of the weather routing routes from PredictWind. So it's just a point to steer to, don't have to hit it. And we'll just sail the angles and keep the speed up as we get out. So got the hydrovane working, and it's just perfect conditions to leave on. So calm, virtually no swell, and a little bit of wind just after the beam.
Hello, so we're almost, I don't know how many hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours into it. It's been lovely. The wind has picked up a little bit, and there's a bit of a swell, but Adam and Garth are calm, so I'm trying to keep calm, but they're tolerating me, but it's okay, it's all good, yeah.
Here's Adam and Garth. Yeah, what do you reckon, Garth?
It's awesome. Boats flying along.
Yeah.
It's quite comfortable.
Yeah.
The sun is
An
out.
average of like 6.5, 7 knots. We're cruising.
Yeah, it's nice, eh? Just on the beam, or maybe slightly after the beam, and the hydrovane is doing all the heavy lifting.
We're trying to name him Popeye.
I think the hydrovane got named today. The sun's going down soon, and there's some of Elizabeth kindly made us shepherd's pie, which is warming through in the oven.
Yum yum.
It smells delicious.
And the whole boat's starting to smell like yummy warm shepherd's pie, which is very nice.
Yeah.
So we'll have that, and then settle down for the night watch.
Adam's slipping all over the place.
Zooming in.
Oops, don't zoom in. People don't want to see that. Yeah. Okay. Stay tuned.
Day two on the helm. So we're into day 2, and what happened on day 1?
I'll tell you, Adam hasn't left the helm. He's been there all the time.
It's not true.
Garth says that we should call him the autopilot.
Yeah. And then I worked very hard is also what he said. Anyway, how was day 1?
Day 1 was good.
Yeah.
Fast. Pretty easy. Was good.
Yeah.
Day 2 is pretty mellow. Eating banana bread.
Yeah.
Having a breakfast.
Elizabeth made us a beautiful banana bread and cottage pie, or shepherd's pie, and it's delicious. Very grateful because it's a huge help and it's tasty.
And we think we saw a sunfish yesterday.
2
sunfish. We sailed past them, which was interesting. And there's a bit more wind than forecast, but not too bad. And a few squalls this morning, which we had a 37 knot squall at one point. And we spilled coffee in the cockpit, but the salt water's washed it out, so that's quite handy. And we're close hauled, heading for the waypoint on the 30-degree latitude marker.
And Garth, are we terrible flatmates keeping you awake?
No. Adam flattened the boat out so it's more comfortable. Per request.
You know whose request that would be.
I'm good like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So everything's good. There was a boat next to us last night too, quite close, up to half a mile away, but within a mile or a mile and a half.
They must have been lost. They were following us.
Yeah. And now they're heading in a different direction, so they must have figured out we don't know where we're going either.
And tell you why are we filming on the GoPro?
And there was a lot of salt water on the cockpit floor last night just because of the wave conditions, and I heard a clunk. It was dark. A few minutes later I looked around and saw that it was our nice Sony camera soaked in salt water and non-responsive, and this morning it's still, the lens is out, it's not responding to being turned off, so hopefully, fingers crossed, the footage from yesterday is okay. Otherwise, this is the start of the video.
There we go. Yeah, that's right. How many nautical miles have we done?
Okay, some stats. We've done So we set off at about 9 AM yesterday. Since then, well, we've been underway for 24 hours and 25 minutes. We've done 152 miles, average speed of 6.2, max 11.5. And we're just logging our midday to middays. So it's currently 9:30 AM. So we'll record what we've done in the last 24 hours at midday.
And look what's made an
waterproof
appearance.
trousers on and slippers. So yeah, you got to be careful.
Those slippers. Any last words, guys?
See you tomorrow.
Bye bye. So the weather's been quite good today. It's cloudy this morning, but it's cleared up largely, although there are sort of these isolated squalls rolling through. And we're just looking at this one here, which is heading our way. So time will tell very soon as to what the sky means for us in our sailing today.
What of a squall?
The squall, we saw it coming. We're just going to get clipped by the edge of it.
You see the rain on the water behind Adam?
Yeah. We got hit by it, but it wasn't too bad. It was very pretty though. The rain on the water was amazing and pushed us along. I think we might have seen 40 knots at the peak of it, but it was not too bad. What do you think about it, Vicky? So that's the end of the squall. Been steering to a waypoint that I placed on the 30-degree latitude, and we're about just a bit over halfway towards that. It was about 300 miles from the Bay of Islands where that point is, and just parallel to the Kermadec, slightly north of the Kermadec, and a bit south of Norfolk Island. So here you can see on the chart the little red dot is the waypoint, and if I just go down, that puts us just below. This is where we're going here. This is Fijian Islands. So it'll mean we've done some easting, and then we can continue north. And if we look on this screen here, so it's waypoint 1, and to get to that waypoint we need to steer at 8 degrees magnetic. And so at the moment I'm just hand steering, doing 19, 18 degrees towards it. So it's all good. It's 168 to waypoint 1.
Sorry, I'm going to whisper because everyone's sleeping, but our friend Garth said that we need to show a night watch with a red light like the other channels do, so to show that we're on night watch. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm here, we're on our second night at sea, and it's my watch from 6 to 9. Adam likes to do a thing called a rolling watch, so people don't get put on the same watch all the time. So he does it that we do 3-hour watches at night and 4-hour watches during the day, which means the 4-hour watches pushes someone into another night watch, so you're not always stuck on the 12 to 3. Some people may like that, some people may not. But I don't know, I quite like it. I quite like the fact that I'm on the 6 to 9, whereas last night I was on the 9 to 12. But I'll also be on the 3 to 6. So yeah, it's now doing it on my own. Adam stayed with me a little while yesterday and this morning, and he did stay for about half an hour this time, but he also needs to sleep. That's really important. It's a very pleasant evening. We've had between 18 to 28 knots of wind. It's after the beam, and that's true wind, and it's all very, very pleasant. We're going an average of 6.5 knots. We've got a reef in the head sail and 2 reefs in the mainsail, and that's just to, you know, because today it's been quite a squally day. It's been beautiful sailing today, but we've had the odd squall. One came up to 41 knots, the last one, and it all seemed to clear up, but so far no squalls. I've got about 45 minutes left on my watch before Garth comes on, and then Adam, and then me again, and then Garth will be on the 6 to 10 watch. It's a few clouds around, but it's a beautiful night. There's a full moon. The sea states, it's a little bit jumbly, but most of it's pleasant. And yeah, we just keep heading north. It is probably too soon to say it's getting warmer, but tonight is definitely warmer. We've noticed that it's a lot warmer. And yeah, so we're just going along. The hydrovane's doing all the work. So there we go. There's my night watch to show you I'm here, I'm doing it. And look, I've got the red light.
We're into the second night of the trip. It's just, what is it, 20 minutes to 1 AM, and I've just taken over from Garth. So early hours of the morning, and it's just beautiful conditions out here right now. We've got 20 to 25 knots, and we're broad reaching, so the apparent wind speed's around 16-17 knots. So it feels like the boat's just on a magic carpet, smooth cruising. We've got the second reef in the main, and the Genoa filled quite a lot too. And we're doing sort of between 5 and 8 knots just as the waves come through over ground. So we're just really hooning along straight towards our waypoint. We're actually also headed straight towards Minerva Reef right now, but that's not where we're going. That's a long way away still. So just want to show you a bit of some of the instruments, what I'm looking at as I'm sitting here on my night watch. So this is just the Navionics chart on the iPad. Just gives you a bit of an overview of the North Island of New Zealand at the bottom there, and then our location, and then our projected heading, switching around. We're going up to the top, up to here. This is our destination, and this is our waypoint 1 that we're heading towards. That's at latitude 30. So here's the Kermadec Islands, and over here's Norfolk Island. So we're getting there. We're only 104 miles from latitude 30. That's what this one shows. Estimated time to waypoint says 15 hours, and we've got current speed over ground, and down here's our overall log, this one here. So down here, this is the distance to the waypoint. All the instruments are really good. Got a compass here, so nice place to sit looking out. It's a very starry night. The fortunate thing about this passage is the timing of the full moon. We've had full moon rising just before dusk and seeing us right through the night so far, and I think that'll continue for most of the trip. So it's really nice to be out here. Right now it feels like daylight. You can't tell on the camera, but it's so bright. Very few clouds and just white caps on the ocean. Bit of a roll to the boat as we're surging along. There's a bit of a swell, ocean swell. We just squirmed over one right now. We're sitting on about 8 knots at the moment right now, just over the ground, and it just feels like we're racing along, but a very nice easy action. And I guess that's one thing I've learned about this from this last 12 hours is how little sail this boat needs in the right conditions to be going fast and to be very comfortable. So it's just a smooth flat platform with a bit of a roll, and all very predictable and nice. So it's a bit of an update. So we're into day 3 now, and it's 20 to 10 in the morning. Garth's on watch and I'm up here with him, and it's got a bit windy. It picked up at about, probably, what was that, about 5 AM or something like that, and so we just had quite a bit of wind above the 30s, up to 41 knots in the last hour. The sea's picked up a bit. It's just coming in on the quarter, so we're getting rolled a bit by it, but the boat's handling it well and all's pretty well on board, so that's good. Bit of sunshine, so hoping to get some solar charging today. It'll do the batteries good. So we're approaching our waypoint, first waypoint. We're about 47 miles from it, so that makes it 47 miles to latitude 30. So that's cool. Things should start warming up soon. So what's happening is there's a big system coming up south from New Zealand, and it's pretty windy across much of New Zealand right now. We're sort of right on the fringe of the northern end of it. So it's just caught up with us, and we're sailing at sort of 6 to 7 to 8 knots in the right direction, sailing out of it. And we're going to have a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is going to be quite calm, so quite a contrast to this. So it's quite good. We've got plenty of wind, we're sailing fast, and we're heading for calmer conditions, so it's all good. I'll get some footage of the sea state. Been commenting amongst the crew about the beautiful colour of the water, how it's changed. Look at this. What are we? It's about 4 kilometres of depth here, 4,000 metres to the bottom. So it's all pretty amazing.
We've just, Adam explained, just circling above a low pressure system coming off New Zealand. It's a bit gusty, up to 31, but it's different in the ocean to sailing around the coast. It's a bit more manageable. It's a bit of a sea state running, but nowhere near as bad as it was in the early hours of this morning and early morning. But yeah, we're going well. We're about 19 nautical miles from our waypoint. Even though I'm wearing a jersey, I'm just wearing it because the wind's a bit cool, but it's definitely getting warmer, and it's beautiful. The water's beautiful, so yeah, all's well on board. And on day 3 we crossed latitude 30 at about 5 PM. We were joined by a flying fish which felt like it was welcoming us to latitude 30.
So after all the wind we've had over the last 24 hours or so, it's just starting to tail off. It's up and down. It's the end of day 3 of the passage, and see on the chart here, it's up and down. It's up to 36 knots in the last 10 minutes, but down as little as 12. Changes of direction and fickleness. So the head sail was just collapsing, and meaning we had to bear away, or actually come up into the wind to keep it full and keep it working, which would put us off our course. So we've put the head sail away and taken the reef out of the mainsail, so we're just running close to downwind with a full main. It's got the preventer on, so it's nice and stable, and we're doing 7 knots over the ground at the moment, up and down. It's pretty good. The boat's stable and pretty quiet, and in terms of stats, average speed today it's been 6.6 knots up to 11.5, so we've been moving along nicely, and I think we're just heading into some light winds now, overnight and through Monday, Tuesday as well. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is going to be quite light, so, according to the weather, so we'll see what that brings. Our bearing to waypoint 2, which is at latitude 20, is here, 353 degrees, so almost north, and this is our course at the moment, so we're heading just about north. So those are the two numbers we compare just to make sure we're going to hit our desired point at latitude 20.
Beautiful morning, the winds have calmed down. We had up to 35 knots overnight, but it was steady, gentle. We were heavily reefed in Taiko. This boat just keeps going, no matter how much we try, no matter what we do, she just 6 to 7 knots happy. It looks like there's Taikos flying around, one's over there, circling us, and they might be on their migration to wherever they're going, but all's well on board. How's the trip going for you?
It's been going awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Weather's been pretty good. Lots of wind, so we can sail instead of motor. Hasn't been bad at all, but
Yeah.
Vicky's been making food. Oh, Adam's been making food. Vicky's been making tea.
I've been making tea. Yes, Adam's been making food.
Yeah, I've been making food.
Yeah, how unusual. And at 30-degree latitude yesterday.
Yep, and we saw a flying fish
Yeah.
on the dot.
Amazing, yeah.
Turned up
It
just as ordered.
scheduled.
Yeah. Just one mind. Not a whole flock of them, just one flying fish, right?
Yeah. So all's well?
All's well.
Yeah, good,
Everything's going nicely.
good.
Yeah, we're managing to sail again now, which is good because the wind's been a bit fluky this morning. But it's 20 past 7 in the morning and we're sailing along at like 6 or 7 knots. And we're pretty much heading north. We're heading at 350 degrees magnetic, so that's good enough for now. There's 2 other boats with us. There's a big oyster behind us and a catamaran, and we're smoking them. So it's never a race, right? But it is this morning. So yeah, we'll just keep going. The wind's due to die out a bit over the next couple of days, but we'll just use what we've got and go with it, see how it works out.
We're all wearing t-shirts at 7:30 in the morning, so that's
Yeah,
good.
it's hot.
Yeah.
It's getting warm.
Except these sea boots are like slippers, very tight. They're like wetsuit boots.
Yeah.
So they might come off soon. The problem is because the scuppers are quite close to the waterline and the sea's a bit lumpy. We've had the cockpit floor's been awash basically the whole trip. So we've treated it like hot lava at times. People have been walking around the coamings and the seats to avoid getting cold salt water. But I think perhaps as the water gets warmer, it might be less of an issue. It might be more like a swimming pool than a hot lava situation. We'll block out the scuppers.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed our video, please consider subscribing to our channel, give us a thumbs up and share with others who you think may enjoy it too. A huge thank you to our Patreons for their support. Head over to our website where we share other information such as blogs, skipper logs, or the latest news. If you'd like to support the making of our videos and find out what we're doing in real time, head over to our Patreon page and join the crew. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next Sunday for part 2 of our journey from New Zealand to Fiji, where we go from being becalmed to force 8-9 sailing conditions. Thanks again and see you next Sunday.